So, hello, good morning, welcome back to Scientific Visualization. As promised last time, today I want to do a Q&A, and that can be either pretty quick or it can take a little bit longer, which depends a lot on you, the question that you might have. So I ask you to go through the slides, go through the lecture, and well, prepare questions, and we'll see if that works out. So do we have any questions? So that not much so far. Yep, I'll still give you a few minutes. So I generally warn against this strategy of, well, someone else is going to ask my question. So I'll just not bother and look at the topics. I know in a few weeks before the actual exam. So that generally doesn't scale very well. So do we have anything? Maybe if you do have a question, I mean, this might be that there aren't any questions, so which is also okay, then we're already done. But if you do have one, please just type yes, or I'm working on it, or something short, so that we don't have to wait until you type your long question if there isn't anything. Doesn't seem to be the case then. Good, then let's just stick with a few general announcements. So of course you can always ask questions later on. I mean, this would have been just nice because it would have fit in the schedule, but it's no problem. It's not unusual that these Q&As end up pretty quickly, so it's fine. So if you have any questions later on in the coming weeks, no problems. You can just ask them via Moodle or via mail or call, technically. If there's anything, in any type of question that seems to be of general interest, so if I get a repetitive request for a certain topic or so, I might just do a quick stream and explain that, and you can either watch that live or you can watch the video on demand. So, but that would be, well, since it's in the break, it would of course be out of schedule. Yeah, so no big deal with that. I've received a couple of registrations for dates yet, and I also received one question whether I actually got the entry, because it's all anonymous, so you can't see it. Yes, I did see that specific entry, but I'll respond via mail as well, in case you're not watching, or in case he's not watching. So generally that thing works. So if you're curious whether if you put in an entry into the Terminplaner from the DFN, it does work. So I've used it for years. It's way more well, as opposed to Doodle, it's privacy compliant, and it does work. So we have never ever lost an entry. But again, I'll also respond to that specific person via mail. Yeah. So seems we don't have any question. Yep. Then that's it for today. And again, if you have any questions later on, feel free to ask. And I'll see you at the exams. Oh, we got a general question. Okay, so general, how long does it take? So that's actually a thing that I said at the very beginning. So it generally takes around 35 minutes, depends a little bit. So I don't want to interrupt anyone in its question answering process, so it might take a little bit longer. There's a few occasions where it's quicker, but that's somewhat unusual. What are typical questions? Well, I mean, it's pretty much anything that's part of the lecture. So anything you see behind me, so those are all the start slides from all the lectures. So it pretty much can contain anything that in the lecture, if I wouldn't ask about something, that would mean it's not important, which in turn would mean I told you something that is unimportant, which I don't intend to do or never intended to do. So that's the reason why pretty much anything is part of the R exam, because anything is important. And typical questions, well, range from just the factual questions, like, okay, I don't know, just come up with something like, what, I don't know, what methods for direct volume rendering do you know, right? To questions that are more transfer based. It's like, okay, can you draw a connection between this and that method? What do these things have in common? What can you imagine it would be a next reasonable step to extend method A, B, C, or concept? So that's pretty much what it is. What's an R exam structures? I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, what's the structure of an R exam? I ask question, you answer. I guess that's pretty much the structure. It's a pretty simple thing, an oral exam. Yeah. So I don't know what else I should say about structure. So I generally start. So maybe that's the thing. I generally start by giving you a chance to pick a topic. So I say, okay, well, what topic do you want to start with? So you might want to think about something ahead of time that you know particularly well. A lot of students, surprisingly, say they don't want to pick something specific, then I do. I don't care. But that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all there is about the structure of the R exam. Yeah. And well, you get the results right away. So after the R exam, we'll disconnect you and discuss this. So the R exam is a three-way call. So one of my students is also going to participate, but just as a scribe, so he just takes notes about the exam, and after the exam we'll disconnect you and discuss the grade, go through the notes and excuse me, and then call you back right away, telling you the grade, so you'll know that kind of immediately, or pretty much immediately after a few minutes. Yeah. We'll use Skype, I suppose. So that has worked pretty well in the past. Has the advantage that it's A, pretty stable, and B, allows for, well, it works pretty well with calls with just a very limited amount of people. We never had any issues with that. You need to have a camera and a microphone, of course. But if you don't have PC with a camera, any phone works fine. Probably not a Microsoft phone. I think they like particular Microsoft phones are discontinued, and it doesn't even work on their own hardware. But that's pretty much the one that I know that it might be an issue. Other than that, any smartphone works. We've had a couple of calls on smartphones as well. It's perfectly fine. And I suppose most of you do possess smartphones. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I guess we got that covered, and then it seems like we're done already. So again, it's okay. It's kind of normal. So sometimes when I do lectures in presence, I get more questions. In particular, if someone actually prepared something, which happens every few years, and has a detailed list of questions, then someone chimes in. But it's okay. Good. Then yeah, that's it for today. That's it for scientific visualization. You have the opportunity to watch all the videos as videos on demand on YouTube. The YouTube playlist is in Moodle. The specific time slot, oh yeah, they'll be published later on. I think I left the well, this doodle type of thing open. I leave this open for another week or so, but after that I'll publish the time slots. Yeah. So you can be certain that the day that you pick is okay, because I limited the options per day to the number of slots that we have. So if you pick a date, the date is just going to be fixed. Yeah, the only thing that changes is the time slot. And we generally do this just on a, I don't know, I think I sort them by like literally first come first serve. So I put them just in slots, one after the other. So we generally start at around 9 or 10 or so, and then schedule this across the day. Yeah, yeah. We'll post those as soon as the doodle poll type of thing closes, and then I'll go through the list, check whether everyone who actually signed up is registered. So if you're not registered through the HIS system, mentioned that before, you can participate. So that's a requirement. So this is only a time selection, and then I'll assign time slot, and I post those on Moodle. So I post the matriculation number to time slot table on Moodle, so you know exactly what's going on, and then you should just post more details about that. So generally, what we do is we'll ask everyone to open Skype and send a message to my Skype account so that I know who you are, and then we'll call you before the exam. So and as I said, we never had any issues whatsoever. So it's a very smooth process from a technical point of view. Okay, so yeah. Anything else? Okay. Yep. Then I guess we're done for today. We're done for this semester, at least when it comes to SciVis. Yep. And see you at the RX. Actually, see you in the RXM. Until then, bye bye. Stay healthy. So where are we? Well, I used to have an end button here. Here it is. Bye bye.